How dare you break my favorite Raditz? His hair was such a comforter in times of great upheaval. Hey guys, MasterCoX here. Now the April Fool What If of 2019 has become a classic in and of itself, due to the fact of its scope. It was pretty epic, and the task to bring one character from the brink of surrealism into the fore of the Dragon team was a really bold task, but not impossible. That's right, we are donning the big cap of silliness here, and a stranger sense of what-ifery for this tale. Unlike some of our standard stories that you would typically see on the channel, we are allowed in these April Fool What Ifs to be a little more creative with our storytelling, so as to distinguish this from your typical crop. This all focuses around one guy, who we all thought was a bit like the class clown, as it were, but when he's actually given a chance to do something, and he applies himself with the right teachers and the right mindset, he is capable of great things, as well as remaining a shining light for Earth's mightiest celebrities. Today, we are still asking the question, what if Hercule trained like Goku? By now, I think you all know why we're calling Hercule Hercule here, but if not, you can think to the obvious reasons. Here on this platform, I would like people to see this video instead of it being hidden away, so there we go. This story began way back in the day, post the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, when Hercule's master was felled by Mercenary Tao, a plot point which was retroactively added into his backstory by Toriyama himself. Something that I am a real fan of, as it adds so much to his origin story. Even the reason for Tao's offing of Hercule's master is pure Dragon Ball. Hercule's master dissed his haircut. Yeah, that sounds about right. In any case, Hercule travelled to Roshi's place to train under him, as Goku wasn't around, he was having Gohan, and he got himself a fast pass into the Dragon team with the support of Krillin, everyone's friend. As a result, Hercule and Videl were brought into the fold much sooner than in the original, and surprise surprise, Chi-Chi actually likes him, as he's a single parent and Videl has basically become the daughter that she never had. That, and it was great for Gohan to have someone around his age nearby to play with whenever the champs were training. Most importantly, she is much more mellow because of this in this storyline, since Hercule's parenting skills are much higher than she'd originally given credit for. In the last part, we had a very short jump over to Namek where Tenshinhan and Chaozu were revived, and the majority of our team had their potentials unlocked with the lack of Frieza bearing down on them. He basically was unaware of the Dragon Balls of Namek, he wasn't sparing them or anything, he instead was set on going to Earth himself to investigate the disappearance of his monkeys thanks to the people of said world. It was something that had gotten stuck in his craw. Plus, really, without the Dragon Balls, he had nothing better to do, since no wish-granting orbs were around for him to become immortal with. I can imagine him being that bored. With the last wish on Porunga, our heroes will return to Earth instantly, and had brought themselves some time to prepare. Will they need it? Well, let's continue. With the gang back on Earth and having gotten back to Capsule Corp, they had reunited with Tenshinhan and Chaozu to fully debrief them, as well as break the news that they had missed out on getting their potential unlocked. Sorry guys, you should have done better earlier. Yamcha apologises for letting this slip, but Tenshinhan isn't all that bothered, surprisingly. I would much rather attain my full potential on my own instead of getting a handout, old friend. Yamcha looks a little guilty and hesitant at this, knowing that his friend was pretty accurate, but at this moment, they needed all the help they could get against Frieza, so yeah, that can go out the window for now. Goku and Piccolo can feel their own powers for the first time now that the rush of potential had calmed down. They had gotten much stronger than before, but Goku was actually starting to feel a little bit remorseful. Tenshinhan was right. He would have liked to have gotten this power through training or natural means like Zenkai. Now's not the time to be all high and mighty, Goku. If Frieza is as strong as we've been told that he is, then for once, Yamcha was right. The Desert Bandit doesn't take too kindly to this little jibe, but at least Piccolo is praising him. Sort of. As that's going on, Hercule is feeling a little torn. Sure, he had his power unlocked by Guru, but his wasn't as big as what Goku had gotten. This was the real gulf between himself and the Saiyans showing itself for the first time. This really was the first time he felt like this since he started training with the group. Was he about to become irrelevant? Videl can sense her father feeling a little blue and grabs his hand. He looks to his daughter and the look of hope in her eyes steels his resolve. He is strong in someone's eyes. He's got to do this for the planet. He can do this! He can be a beacon of inspiration to the people of Earth. For Miguel, he won't let his kid down.
Hey, King-Kai!
Hercule shouts up to the sky all of a sudden.
How much time we got until that little imp gets here?
King-Kai snickers at the little imp remark for Frieza, but then regains his serious tone, having sensed the gang return to Earth.
Oh, you ain't got a year if that's what you're thinking. Frieza's ship is one of the fastest in the galaxy. You'll be lucky to get about a week at the most, so you better come up with something, bro.
Bulma has just the idea. With her new supercharged brain, she got her potential unlocked too. She remarks to Piccolo that his fusion with Nail would have resulted in a huge power increase, right? The Namekian, not expecting this question, oddly nods his head.
I got an idea that could blast Frieza's ship before it even gets into the atmosphere. We won't even need to fight. Give me 72 hours, okay? Meet back here.
Piccolo has no idea what's going on, but at least there is a plan being formulated right now. As for the others, Hercule with Videl, Krillin and Goku head back to Goku's place to train as well as drop off Gohan and assure Chi-Chi that the kids are alright. Krillin can also tell Hercule is feeling a little off. Hey bud, you were a little strange earlier. What's eating you up, bro? Hercule responds.
You feel like a big gap has formed between Goku and us?
Well, sure there is. He's a Saiyan and Saiyans are super strong, unlike us.
And you're okay with that?
Krillin nods. Yeah, no. I know what I'm capable of, and that's being the strongest human I can be. Giving my all to help my best friends.
Huh. That's kind of what I thought. Only more humble.
Hey, whatever gets you motivated, big guy. Krillin pats Hercule's arm in solidarity, and the pair of them get ready to train. 1 week passes, and King Kai alerts the gang that Frieza's ship has now entered the solar system and is heading their way. Bulma and Piccolo are there to greet the team as the engineer unveils her greatest creation, Earth's ultimate defense, the Special Beam Cannon! Piccolo looks a little embarrassed.
I didn't come up with that name.
Oh, come on, Piccolo. It's basically your move, but techified.
The Namekian isn't all that impressed with the use of his attack name for something so artificial, but Bulma quickly explains that it's more than just a cannon, and by doing this, he has more than made up for his father's actions back in the day. That was hung over Piccolo to get him to do whatever she wanted. Bulma jumps up to a little chair, which pales in comparison to the size of the cannon, and aims it skywards.
Special Beam Cannon, fire!
Bulma presses some buttons, and the cannon begins to whir into life, and seconds later, a huge laser beam resembling Piccolo's technique blasts out of the end and out into space. The Dragon team then turn their focus to Frieza's energy, which they could now start to sense since King Kai brought it to their attention. Bulma, despite her new smarts and huge brain, still can't sense energy.
Well, did I hit it?
The gang goes silent. No. Bulma is aghast. What could have gone wrong? Minutes pass, still silence. The team not sure what to do right now. This plan had failed.
Piccolo, you weren't giving me all your best energy.
What are you talking about? I gave you all my energy, and your machine still couldn't make use of it!
Guess your brain's not as big as you thought it was. Bulma is getting angrier by the second, but then Hercule shouts,
Hey, shut up! We got company.
Frieza is in the sky, looking down on the group.
All right, the Emperor shouts. Which one of you destroyed my ship?
Silence.
Come on, I know it was one of you. It came from this dung heap.
Bulma is elated.
It did work. I did. You were subject to my greatest invention.
Frieza turns to the scientist.
Oh, really? Well, I'll make sure that it'll be your last invention soon enough.
Piccolo deduces that Bulma's invention actually did work, but it wasn't enough to maximize the energy Piccolo had given her. It was enough to destroy the ship, but Frieza was left unscathed. The most likely reason it didn't work? She fired it too soon. And, of course, Frieza was able to breathe in space.
You're lucky that I'm intrigued by this little world enough to not want to blast it into a million pieces on first sight.
Frieza, who is in his first form, by the way, looks upon the group and asks who was it that offed Vegeta, to which Goku responds.
Monkey versus monkey, eh? Oh, It's always the way. Even when your numbers are as low as they are, you still wish to assert your dominance. How very quaint. And how very stupid.
Frieza fires a beam at Goku, which he is able to deflect thanks to his potential being unlocked. It hits a nearby Capsule Corp building, which explodes, spooking Bulma.
Hey! If you're gonna start fighting, take it away from my home, will ya?
Hercule agrees and decides to join in.
Hey, Imp! Think fast!
Hercule fires a Kamehameha back as he launches into the sky, flying out of West City, causing Frieza to chase him in hot pursuit. The rest follow also. Bulma stays behind to investigate the damage, but is secretly pleased that her invention technically worked. Piccolo, tapped out of energy now, is just sat there feeling absolutely like a lemon, a fool for going along with this Earthling's daft experiment. All it did was just anger Frieza, and because of it, he's out of commission for now.
Oh my, a spot of fly swatting. This is something I didn't expect to be doing. How fun. Now stay still whilst I blow you to Kingdom Come.
Frieza shouts to Hercule as he flies away. Goku launches forward and catches up to Frieza, causing the Emperor to wheel around in surprise. This monkey, who could only barely stop Vegeta, daring to impose him? But any other thoughts are halted, as the Saiyan lands a double-fisted slam to the tyrant's head, sending him flying down into the wasteland below. As the dust clears, the gang come to land to await Frieza's response. They all know that that move was nowhere near enough to actually stop him entirely, but it certainly would have rattled him. Frieza blasts his way out of the rubble and is looking absolutely furious. He hadn't expected to have been susceptible to something so basic. Well, Frieza, that's what you get when you can't sense energy on the fly, his scouter not registering it in time, and is now damaged because of the impact. Frieza takes off the now useless device, and smirks, mentioning his power of transformation. He does so up to his second form, thinking that this would be enough, as he rains down a surge of energy, utterly eviscerating the ground around them. But Goku is still able to respond with a flurry of blows, which the Emperor can barely counter, and the resulting onslaught is enough to just blow everyone away with how strong Goku had truly gotten thanks to Guru's gift. Hercule decides to step in himself and show his resolve that he had gotten thanks to all the pep talks that he'd received, and lands the same technique that he used on Raditz to try and take Frieza's head off. But all it does is just anger Frieza even more. The Emperor grabs Hercule's leg and squeezes it tight.
What was that supposed to be? Whoever would fall for such a ludicrous display of buffoonery?
Hercule is about to splutter an answer to this, but Krillin uses this distraction to get Frieza's tail with a Destructo Disc. Frieza's grip lets go, and Hercule frantically gets the heck out of dodge. Frieza rounds on Krillin, but then relaxes, congratulating the little squirt for getting the jump on him.
All of you, you really are outdoing yourselves with this act of so-called bravery. I view it more like idiocy, but to each their own. But I have way more to show you.
He powers up to his third form, and this horrifies the group with this monstrous display. The group have now no choice but to just straight up attack together. Hercule, Goku and Krillin all start to desperately swing, punch, kick their way to victory around the third form Frieza, who is able to gain the upper hand, just about. It's not as clean-cut as in the original with Piccolo, but right now, Frieza has the advantage for the first time in this encounter. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Do you think our heroes will have a chance here against a strengthening Frieza? Will they be able to do anything in this immediate moment? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later.